Guys, sorry to beat down on the UK so much, but it's beggars belief to see such a country with so much history and background just being destroyed, absolutely destroyed by its incompetent government, and to be honest, even more incompetent populace. So, what's happening there? Currently, the health crisis, the NHS is unable to cope. They are having one of the highest excess deaths on record, 30,000 excess deaths for 2022. That's a 5 year average, right? And it's above average. So people at 4 hour waits, just dying at home. That's one of the highest ones because they're not even being picked up by ambulances. I've spoken to A&E doctors and they've said they have never, including the pandemic, never seen it so packed ever. And they just cannot cope. So, but you would say, okay, so that's the NHS. Maybe we need more money for the NHS. We need more nurses. We need more doctors. But why then is the education system collapsing? Why is the rail network collapsing? Why are the roads too packed? Why is building, the rental crisis is through? What's going on that everything seems to be collapsing? Well, it's a simple answer. The UK has imported, since the Tories came to power in 2010, the entire population of Greece. And if we go to when Blair started opening up the borders in the year 2000, it's imported the entire population of Greece and Denmark. 15 million people. Last year alone, 500,000 people, legal immigrants, plus 50,000 illegal immigrants currently being housed in hotels. So nothing can cope when you are doing a free at point of service health system, importing all these people that had to pay for healthcare, now coming to the UK in 1 year, just last year, imagine 500,000 people that have never seen healthcare, now getting it free all day long. They can go every day and get it. What do you think is going to happen? And this is not discussed, this is not mentioned anywhere. 15 million people in a country of 75 million people, right? That is absurd. Now, they voted Brexit. What is it now? 7 years ago? Really based on immigration, right? That was basically the main thing. It wasn't for the blue passports, and it wasn't because we don't like the size of the cucumbers and we don't like the EU laws. It really was just for it to stop immigration. And it's got worse. Last year was the worst on record, 500,000 people. That is the worst on record. And it's just got worse, which shows it's not the EU, it's the incompetent UK government. Incompetent. And the opposition is even worse. They want to import even more people. It makes no, you've never seen a country, a once proud country, the number one world power, let's remember, before World War II, the number one, being destroyed, self-destroyed so quickly. It's just quite shocking. I'm just on the sidelines watching this. And again, I really don't, the government, they're getting away with it, so why should they mention anything? The media covers up for them. Okay, any opposing media, nothing. It's the population just doing nothing and just sitting there and just letting it happen. I don't blame anyone. If the politicians had any, pushback from the population, they would actually do something. But they get nothing. No rights, no nothing, no nothing. So why should they bother? So it's literally, and now looking at housing. So last quarter, 2.5% decrease in average house prices, the worst since the great financial crisis in one quarter. So the prices are coming down, but yet people aren't buying as much. Okay, obviously people aren't buying because the mortgage rates are too high, but the rents are still very high. Why? Who's the biggest buyer, renter really in the economy? It's the government. The government is getting involved in a private market of a basic commodity. Housing is a basic need of humans, and the government has stuck its nose in. So imagine there's 10 people that need housing, but there's only 5 houses. Who gets there first? Who outbids everyone else? Who is paying for 5-star hotels currently for immigrants, right? Who outbids everyone else and block buys? The government. So if there's 10 people and 5 loaves of bread, because housing is as much of a need as bread, right? 5 loaves of bread, and the government takes 3 of them. You're left with just 2 to fight over, right? They've taken 3 for the 10, and you've got 7 people now going for 2. The price is going to go through the roof. That is what happens. That's what's happening in the UK at the moment. People are scrambling for the little bits and bobs. There's queues of people waiting for each rental property. They go in 5 seconds. There is nothing on the market, even now, even during a recession, even with house prices coming down, the rent is not budging because they can just rent it to the government. Why? Got 500,000 new immigrants every year the government has to house. Legal. They have to do it. These are legal immigrants, right? 50,000 illegal that again they're going to go and house. Why should I bother? Why should I bother renting out at a lower price? The demand is there. So this is the destruction of a country through incompetence and of a population. Again, I don't blame the government. They're getting away with it. Why shouldn't they? The incompetence of a very stupid population.